Hey everybody, this is Zach with IT Career Questions, and today I am going off topic. Today I am going to go off topic and discuss something that affects millions of people all around the world, including myself. This is something that sometimes people shove under the table, put under their pillow at night. Sometimes they feel embarrassed about it, they don't want to talk about it, but it's okay to talk about it, and you don't have to feel embarrassed about it. And you don't have to tuck it under your pillow, and you don't have to shove it under the table. Today, I'm talking about depression. To give you guys a greater sense on why this topic is so abundantly important to me, I am going to give you guys a little background on me. So let me take you guys through my past. The year was 1998. I was 14 years old, and I was a freshman in high school. I was one heck of a football player. I had lots of friends. I had no problems with anybody in school at all. I had no problems at home. I had no problems with my parents at all. I really had not a care in the world. Nothing. Looking back on things, everything was great. My parents were stellar. Could not have asked for better parents. So it was the last week of football season when it hit. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what set it off. To this day, I don't know where it came from and how it happened at all. I'm 32 years old now, and I still, to this day, could not tell you how it happened. I did not want to wake up. I did not want to wake up and go to school that last week of the football season. I didn't want to go to the last football game that I had, and I just didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to wake up. I didn't want to leave the house, and as it turns out, that feeling would last for a very long time. Arguments erupted between myself and my parents. I was angry for no reason, just angry and upset for no reason at all. I didn't understand it. I had no idea what was going on with me. Literally did not understand anything that was going on with me, my life, what was going on in my head, why I didn't want to wake up, why I didn't want to go to school, why I didn't want to see my friends. Why was this happening to me? So I stayed home from school 1 week, and then 2 weeks. By the third week, my dad had called the truancy officer on me, and the truancy officer comes downstairs to my bedroom, and I'm just laying in bed staring off into nothingness, which was what I'd done for the last 3 weeks anyway. And he's kind of talking to me, and I'm just kind of answering here and there. And he goes back upstairs and he says, "I've seen this before. I think your son is depressed." And my parents are confused, obviously, and I'm of course confused. So my mom, of course, does everything she can. She takes me to, the doctor. The doctor says, go to the psychiatrist, go to a counselor, go to therapy. I do all of this. I go to a psychiatrist. I get diagnosed with bipolar depression. I get diagnosed with anxiety, all at the age of 14 years old. And I feel like that just was so crazy. My parents didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. They were devastated by it. And it was just so out of this world that it was happening to me, that it was happening to us, because everything was fine. Everything was great. There was no reason for it to happen to us, to me. There's no reason for it to happen to anybody, but apparently it just happens. So to keep this from going on and on, I dropped out of school at the age of 14 years old, my freshman year of high school. Dropped out. I never went back to school. I was forced to see counselors. I was forced to see psychiatrists, to see therapists, put on probably every single antidepressant, anxiety medication known to man at that time in 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001. From the time I was 14 to 16 years old, I put on 100 pounds. I blew up. Didn't leave the house. Didn't do anything. I lost contact with all of my friends. My friends lost contact with me. You know, they didn't know what was going on with me. Nobody understood it, so nobody reached out to me. You know, that's just kind of the way that it was back then. Even now, saying this, you know, 17 years ago, it was completely different than what it is today. Depression then is completely different than what it is today. The way that people treat it now is completely different than how it was treated 17 years ago when I was a kid. Back then, I hated my life. From the time I was 14 to the time I was 24 was probably the most miserable times of my life. I cannot tell you honestly, and this is going to be a shock to some people, especially personal friends of mine and family who will see this, how many times I contemplated my own life, how many times I planned everything out and said this is how my life is going to end, because I literally cannot take it anymore. I cannot take another day living my life in complete misery. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But at the end of the day, when I was at the bottom of the barrel, when I was at rock bottom, I always had a feeling that things would get better. And that's what always kept me going. I always felt that things would get better. I always kind of had this feeling, what if? What if? And if you have that feeling of what if, then things will get better. You will make things get better. If you are telling yourself, what if you are asking yourself, what if, things will get better. Now, this is something that you've probably heard before, whether it's your parents who have told you, your grandparents, your friends, somebody who's trying to help you. But I'm going to tell you again, the way that they treat depression now in 2017 is completely different than they did 17 years ago, 19 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago even. The support systems, the treatment options, therapy, even medication options that they have today are completely different than what they had back then. I read every day about different organizations, different treatments, and different advancements and medications to help treat this crippling disease. I know when you're at rock bottom, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's hard to believe that things will ever get better. Days turn to night, nights turn to days, all too quickly. There were times where I would sleep 12 hours a day, and there was years where I would sleep 12 hours a day. It was routine. There were times where I'd be up 36 hours at a time, constantly. Up 36 hours, sleep 12 hours. It was just my routine. And that was just the way that things happened back then. I know how that feels. I understand that. I also know that people have told you things like this before, that we know how it feels. We understand how you feel. But I can tell you from experience, from knowing personally and going through this, it gets better. As long as you ask yourself, what if? If you are asking yourself, what if, it will get better. You will get better. I want you to know that rock bottom is not the end. Look at rock bottom as a reevaluation of your life. You've hit the bottom. You've been through struggles. You are capable of what life can throw at you. Is life capable of what you can throw at it? I'm living proof to tell you that things can get better. If you need help in any way, I'm asking you, I'm begging you to please seek help in any way that you can. There are many options here, and I will list them, of course, at the end of this video, in the description of this video, and put them all here just so you guys can see them, all the different options that you can reach. You don't want to talk to somebody personally, because if you are in need of help, please seek it. It is very, very important, and I strongly urge you to do that. I know what it's like to lose somebody physically, to lose somebody emotionally, and I know what it's like to lose yourself. Make a stand, make a change. This is your life. Do something amazing with it.